Hi guys, it's Tara and Cassie, and we're back with another crypto market update. Okay, so here we are on the Bitcoin chart, and we're zoomed out to the daily time frame, and we're using the Coinbase exchange. And so from the top here at 73.8K, Cassie and I have been tracking this retracement here for wave 4, and we believe that it's forming this massive triangle. And so yesterday, Bitcoin broke out above that triangle, and just as we suspected, it's come down and tested the top of the triangle. And so the low of this candle, of this daily candle, was around 69.6K. And so I believe that Bitcoin's going to come down to test the top of the triangle one more time and possibly support right above that MA. So the MA is sitting at 69.2K. So around 69.5 to 69.2. This is what I'm expecting to be strong support on Bitcoin right now. And also take a look at this RSI because it does have a little bit more room until it comes down and touches that MA on the RSI for support. And so right now I believe that we need a better test on top of this triangle just to confirm support. Another thing that I want to mention is that as far as Elliott wave theory goes, this entire retracement here is still incomplete. And so that's why we're going to be continuing to track a correction instead of tracking a new trend. And so right now we have about 2 more waves left of this triangle that we're going to be tracking. When Bitcoin comes back down to test the top of the triangle and this MA here, if it does break down through, I think we could see it come back down to test the bottom of the triangle one more time because we still didn't get our wave E of this Elliott wave triangle. And so the bottom of this triangle is at 67.1. And so between these levels here are what we're expecting to be strong support on Bitcoin. Okay, so again, here we are on Ethereum, and this is the daily time frame. So we're zoomed out quite a bit. This is that high there on Ethereum at 4093. And again, Cassie and I have been tracking a wave for retracement coming down here. And I do want to mention that Ethereum already came down and it perfectly targeted that 382 support level, which is typically our target for the full wave 4. But because we're still under this level up here, we're still going to be tracking the correction instead of the new trend. And so right now, Ethereum did make a new high above our previous wave B right here. However, it's hitting that resistance level that Cassie showed you how to put on your charts yesterday. And so right now it perfectly targeted that 618 as resistance. And so one thing that we need to do is update this full target here that we had at that 1 fib, which was at 2600. Because of this new high, it's now moved up to around 2700. So make sure you guys are updating this full target with this new high up here. So as long as we are under this level at 4093, we are still technically within this wave 4 correction. And so we need a little bit more development to form on Ethereum for us to confirm whether or not it's going to hit resistance here and form the rest of this correction down to 2700, and then we'll track the new trend going up here to a new high, or if this comes up and breaks above this level here, which would have a target of 4190, and then we'll start tracking a 5-wave structure for the new trend going up here. And so Ethereum is just getting kicked around right now with the price action on Bitcoin. Like I said, we need a little bit more development to confirm whether or not it's going to hit resistance here to come down to our target or break up above to new levels. And so Cassie's going to take you into the subways and give you a closer look at what we're expecting.
Okay, we're zoomed in here on Ethereum 1 hour. This is that 618 level that Tara mentioned that we just found resistance on Ethereum. And you can see right at this fib, we had bearish divergence happening. So the prices were continuing to make new highs here at this fib. And look at our strength just dwindling down as it does that. And since then, from that break, we actually broke our trend on the RSI, and it looks like it's going to come up a tiny bit and then hit resistance on this break. So similar to Bitcoin, I think we could come up a tiny bit and hit that local resistance, possibly making a new high, which I have targeted out here on the extension at 3,800, but it doesn't necessarily need to make a new high because it's already hit proper retrace levels. But if we do, I do have that next target there, but I would expect it to make an exhausted high on the RSI. So not any new extreme. We would want to see the RSI make a new low while the price makes a new high. So this is something you're going to want to add to your chart. So put in this trend line here and you can see we have the breakdown, and it should come up to test either the trend line or the MA as resistance. So we'll see where the price is on those tests. So just like Tara was mentioning, we have a few different scenarios we're trying to track in this correction. So a few things are making us continue to believe that we are still in the correction. So we're not seeing those really strong waves that are going to be kicking us past new highs. We're seeing really chopped up waves with less strength. So this is making us believe that we're still going to continue in this correction, and we are not on a new trend for now. So that's what's leading us to believe that. If it does make a new high, this is going to be strong resistance here. So not continue up to new trend like our other scenario would be expecting. So I think the subwaves are a little bit messy and not clear enough to get marked out, but in general, this would be a correction pattern, possibly still coming back down like Tara mentioned for new lows for C later. So we can't determine the larger trend at this point, but we do have our short-term resistance there. And then just based on the RSI, like I said, this is something to watch here for our resistance.
So for the rest of today, what are you expecting?
So for the rest of today, expecting a short-term bounce coming up to hit resistance on the RSI trend line or MA, but then coming back down.
Okay.
I don't have a strong trend line to mark like any breakout or anything, but
okay.
I think that what we'll be doing is coming up, hitting resistance pretty soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's get over to XRP then. Okay, so here we are on XRP and we're on the daily time frame again. And yesterday, XRP came up and it perfectly touched and resisted right at the top of the triangle. And when it did so, you can see that the RSI came up and it broke above the moving average. So right now on XRP, we are trending more bullish because of this break up above here. And so Cassie's going to take you into the subwaves and give you a closer look at what we think is going on.
Okay. I have XRP hourly pulled up here. So there isn't much that's changed on our larger plan. You can see we are still trying to test that top of that triangle, just like Tara mentioned. Right here is that quick break that we had above, which on the larger time frames was just a wick, I believe, and it closed back below the triangle. So what I have here is our support levels that you can get on your chart. We've already come down to a 382 retrace, and you can see we've had a nice strong impulse since then, and we are breaking the RSI on the hourly as well. So it does look like we are going to be coming back up and testing the top here, potentially as resistance. So let's just see what it happens when it gets here. We know that Bitcoin and Ethereum are potentially hitting resistance very soon. So this could also be coming up to resistance very soon. So this could be following. There is somewhat of a trend line on XRP. So I feel like trend lines are nice because it helps give you just perspective as the trends are forming. So I like to have them on my charts. This is something you can have here, and then it helps you to know when this trend is going to break. So right now, XRP is coming up for a perfect test of the top of that triangle. So what we're watching for is signs of resistance. So starting to build under the triangle, or a breakout with signs of support. So building on top of this triangle is what we want to see. So that's what we're going to be looking for today. It's pretty exciting that it's attempting this, but following along with Ethereum and Bitcoin, it's probably likely we'll get some resistance. Okay, so you can see we have XRP breaking out here. This is just the 1 hour, and the 1 hour candle is about to close. So we are going to be hitting resistance probably soon, even though we're getting some action here. And I'm going to be watching the RSI to make sure that any new high in price is continuing in exhausted strength. So we'll probably be hitting resistance soon and coming back down under here. But let's just see what happens if we do start to build support. That would start to change our position and our mind here. But
Cass, let's get from the bottom down there, let's put on the 618 extension from that bottom using the last high with the high in the RSI.
So this would be a 618 extension at 64 cents, which you can see kind of lines up with where we've seen previous resistance on XRP. So it's possible that if we do get a new high, that we come up to these levels here, 64 cents, before coming back down, really paying close attention to the RSI if it's building new strength or if it's exhausted or not. So we are getting that break, but let's see what happens in the next few hours if we start to build support or if we break back down as resistance. So